Welcome everyone tonight. Welcome to Avini Vibes. Today is April 3rd, 2025. I'm your host, Christine Rolando, with Carol Witt, co-host. And we're so excited. I think we have Dr. Nikita in the house. She'll be with us shortly. She's driving her son back from tennis camp. And so he's a rock star. We're going to hear more about his athletic performance as he's a young man. Some of you have already heard his story early on and his use of the products, which we're excited about. We welcome any guests and we do acknowledge that we try to respect your time. Of course, we'll try to get you out of here 30, 40, 45. Sometimes they go longer, but feel free. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to learn together. The most beautiful thing about this company is that it's a special company that not only has the most amazing products, but it has the most amazing leadership, second to none. And most importantly, what we're doing, you'll know, we're changing lives, saving lives, and really helping people by education. And that's what we're here for. We're learning from one another. Again, a reminder, no medical claims. We're not here to diagnose or treat. So we're going to have a great opportunity tonight to spend some time together. And what I'd like to first do is I'd like to have Eddie Kowalski step up for a minute. And for any guest, he's just going to run through the products pretty quick. And if the person who invited you tonight, if you have more further questions regarding product knowledge, listen, we got so many resources for you, but Eddie's just going to touch base real quickly on those products. And then we're going to invite our special guest tonight, Michael Pollock, all the way from corporate. There he is. There's Michael. Michael's going to join us tonight. Super guy, nice person, and very knowledgeable. So, Michael, thank you for being here with us. All right, without further ado, Eddie, if you don't mind, share a little bit about, run through those products for us. Thank you, Eddie.
Hey, yeah, okay. Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Christine. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of hit bullet points for the products that we have, and everything that you need to know about the product.
Uh-oh, where'd he go?
Hang on, guys, I lost you for a minute.
Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm back.
There
Okay,
he is.
all right, sorry. So I'm going to zip through these, the bullet points that I typically talk about, and there's so much more. And I'm going to preface this by saying that what if we just have a basic understanding of our products, you're going to know more than 95% of the people in the country about these products, about zeolite and what we have, including doctors. So Cell Defender, all right, that's the tip of the spear. We could survive on Cell Defender alone. If we only had Cell Defender, we would be a thriving company, because Cell Defender, Rick Deitch was able to, after 7 years of discovering that when volcanic ash hits salt water, it forms a crystalline structure that is nature's filter. And for 7 years, he thought that if this is sucking out toxins and heavy metals out of the air, the environment, the water, how about we go ahead and get this in people's bodies? How about we get this in people's bodies and get rid of those metals? Because metals over time, they're deadly. And the World Health Organization says that 98 to 99% of all disease is tied in some way to heavy metals and environmental toxins. So he crushed it, he micronized it, he activated it. He's the only one that was able to do this, and he's a category creator of detoxylite, clinoptilolite. So essentially, when this goes into the body, he formed it and formulated it into drops. And you take these drops, put them in your body. It's a negatively charged mineral, one of only a few in the world. Goes in the body, finds and is attracted to bad heavy metals, which are positively charged but tiny. So he was able to reduce our clinoptilolite detoxylite to less than the size of a micron. And the heavy metals, the bad ones, are tiny. They fit in the cages, they're sucked in, and they're trapped. And then over time, 3 to 4 hours after you take your first maybe 10 drops, they're urinated out. Cool thing is, the positively charged metals are the good ones. They're too big. They don't get in. So they're left alone. So when the bad metals are flushed out, calcium and magnesium, which are tied to mercury typically, they can thrive, right? So you're making way for the good. So what our Cell Defender does, we are a subtracting company. We take out the bad stuff. Heavy metals, take out, they're dead. So the zeolite, the clinotillite does that. Now, you couple that with the other part of that World Health Organization study, the live critters. The nano silver is what we have that takes care of the live things. And you're talking about yeast, mold, bacteria, parasites, all those things that are moving around that are alive. They're shimmering, they're alive. Nano silver goes in and kills them on contact, and they're flushed out. So, quick example. It's okay. Everybody talks about colloidal silver. Okay, it's too big. It clumps up. You heard of the blue man. If you Google colloidal silver blue guys, it can turn you blue. You have to limit that. Ionic silver is too tiny. It can hurt the immune system. Ours is a spherical silver. My wife, Friday, came home coughing, sneezing 100 times. And I had one bottle of nano. And she drank a third of that bottle for 3 days. She had to sing at church on Sunday. And she went and she sang. And I said, "Are you good?" She said, "I'm good." And she had to sing at 9 o'clock and the 11 o'clock service as a featured singer. And then I caught a little bit of her thing in my throat. And I'm like, "We're out of nano." So I got to go pick up some nano at the headquarters. Thank God I'm 15 minutes away. So you got the 1-2 punch. You got take out the dead metals, take out the live stuff. Then you got the mushrooms. Mushrooms immune system helps support the liver and the kidney, and it limits the hyperimmune response. It can calm you down. It's like walkie-talkies in the body. This immunity is something Marcy Littlejohn used along with Cell Defender to get rid of 3 deadly diseases. So that tells you how powerful that is. Nano kills the live stuff. Those 3 are so incredibly powerful. Cardio Plus, it develops the heart muscles. It strengthens the heart muscles. It stabilizes the heart, decreases blood pressure, and it keeps the heart healthy and improves the pumping efficiency of the heart. Then we've got Plus Balance. All right, that's a new product we just came out with. Plus Balance for men and women. I know guys are like, I don't need hormonal balance. Well, yeah, I guess we do. But it's for both men and women. But it not only does that, but I'm all about the liver. It protects and supports the liver, but also hair, skin, and nails. So that's the Plus Balance. Plus Mind and Vision. Essentially, the eyes are connected to the brain very closely. So what it does, it supports clarity and vision. And we've got so many stories already, and that's a fairly new product, about how powerful that is. The Plus Fiber, that's for the gut. Now, the gut is considered the second brain. If your gut's not right, you're not going to be right. So when the Plus Fiber goes into the gut, it gently soothes and scrapes through the intestines. And it also supports gut health. But not only that, there's a coarser version of the zeolite in the fiber that goes in there and flushes out those things that are kind of stuck to the intestinal walls. And so it kicks that out. Not only it's not just a fiber that makes you go to the bathroom, but it also helps with blood sugar. Quick story. I can't make any claims. I'm not going to name the disease or whatever. Got a buddy of mine. He A1C numbers were 8.8 and 2 heart attacks, 65 pounds overweight. And I told him about this. He did it very, very not going crazy with it. 7 weeks later, numbers came down to 5.5. Doctor said, "I don't know what you did, but throw the meds away. You don't need them anymore." That was a year ago. Okay. Now, when it comes to blood sugar, that is such a big part of our world, right? And Plus Fiber handles all that stuff. Plus Relief, that is the Alan Way likes to call it. That's sort of the coup de grace. That is the thing that is immediate in many cases. Typically, if you put the gel on or the roll on, within 20 minutes, you feel a difference. What the ailment may be, the discomfort that you're having, and it is 1/10,000th of cobra venom, Asian cobra venom. Can't hurt you. Totally healthy for you. You can spray it in your mouth. You can put it on anywhere that hurts. Typically, the spray goes in if you have pain everywhere. It targets pain through the entire body. The gel focuses on areas where my knee, my shoulder, my neck, things like that. I actually had a headache yesterday, and I just took some Plus Relief. I put it on both sides of my temple, And Rick said that this can actually help a lot with migraines. So that is a tremendous product. Plus Energy, Christine plays tennis, and she went and played with the coach at West Point. And I remember she told us that she played a match against him, and she had some Plus Energy before she played, and he had never seen her play so well. And it can't, and again, it's homeopathic. It's not a big rush and then a crash, right? So everything we have works synergistically together. Trim Science is what it is. Trim Science goes in and thermogenically heats up the body with caffeine, 125 milligrams of caffeine, about the size of a cup of coffee, strong coffee, but it heats the body up and it starts breaking down that fat. Now that fat is there to cover up metals and bad things. So it's basically like throwing a quilt over the fat, because of the fat, or I'm sorry, over the toxins. If they escaped and got out in the body, they could wreak havoc. So picture this, as it breaks down that fat, now these toxins get out. Now you got Cell Defender, Nano, and mushrooms to go and kill it. So it's almost like if you look at a war zone, you got a bunch of enemies in a tank, and we got our guys around it. We throw the Trim Science in the tank. These guys come out, and then all of our guys kill them. That's the Nano, the Cell Defender, and the mushroom. They just kill them. And so we have an army inside of us that's fighting for us. The mushrooms is a great example of that. So the mushrooms, 7 non-GMO, medicinal, organically grown mushrooms. They have to fight to survive. They got to fight to live. So if you can picture, you've got these tough, best mushrooms on the planet, cordyceps and turkey tail and all these other mushrooms that now had to fight to live. They're in your body fighting for your body to live. And they're like walkie-talkies, and they go throughout the body. All these tie together. I know I touched on that earlier, but they all work together. Plus hydration, that's something that I'm going to use Chip's words on this, makes water wetter. And if you put a scoop of Plus hydration in a bottle of water, Neil said this at conference, shake it up and drink it. That's like drinking 3 waters. So there's your Plus hydration. Carrie, you got one right there?
Yeah.
Then let's see, what did I miss? I don't think I missed anything, but I will say, just to finish, well, we have the Avini protein, the meal balance, or the meal replacement. That's coming soon. You'll be able to get that soon. But at the end of the day, we have, and I'm going to take one more second, the security of knowing that we take in more toxins, 15 more toxins and metals and that every day than we can kick out. We take them out. We clear the way for the good. So you put good stuff in your body. You got our stuff in there. It makes everything good you're putting in your body that much more effective. And that's why there's no place on the planet you can find this. School a doctor. You can school anybody you want to. Last thing, I called my sister about 6 months ago, and I said, I got to go see a doctor who was having some health issues himself. And I said, yeah, I got to go see a doctor. And she said, what's wrong with you? I said, there's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with him. So I'm taking some Avini to him. That was it. And he got on the product, and he still takes it. And that was 6 months ago. So that's a quick rundown, guys. I mean, dig deeper into it. You find all the other information out, testimonials, everything you need. But that just gives you a glimpse of what we have.
Great job, Eddie. Thank you so much. I told Eddie he's got 3 minutes. And so how'd he do?
I'm sorry.
You did good.
Wow.
Yeah. You always do that. You tell people 3 and they go 10, but that's a great job and a great explanation in a very concise manner. So with that, Eddie, I appreciate that. Michael Pollock is our guest tonight. We're very excited to have Michael. He is our compliance officer at Avini Corporate, and Michael has amazing story. I've heard it at conference, at Summit, and remind you, Summit is available now. We're going to do that in August. We'll talk about the end. But Michael, please join us. Thank you so much for being with us. You have a big job. You have to hold us all, accountable so we can continue to share these amazing products with this great company. Welcome, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for everybody joining the call. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I love coming to meetings and seeing everybody, and amazing work that you guys are doing, sharing the products that we know, that we love. And so Yeah, I joined Avini the same reason probably everybody here did, is because the products work so well and because we're changing people's lives. I started with the company since pretty much the beginning, right? Where they came, Neil and Doug and Rick came to me and said, okay, like, what do we need to do to use for the back office? What do we need to, configure for the app, right? So I kind of came in and started looking at all these things. And as you guys may have known my story, I own my own IT company. So, I'm building up the IT company. We're doing really good. And Neil comes along and brings this idea, and we start working, and it starts consuming more and more time. And then I start seeing all the testimonials that are coming, and I'm getting excited and seeing how, in computers, we change people's lives by helping them less with stress, right? Because we fix their issue and hey, now you're happy. But I wasn't really touching people, in a way that helps them, like really helps them, changes their lives and their health and their family. And when I started seeing the testimonials, I really was, captured by what Avini is. And so I started slowly closing down my company, um, you know, getting more and more away from it. And I eventually, Neil said, hey, do you want to join Avini full time? And I said, yes. I didn't even question it. I just said yes. Now, I've been working with Neil for a very long time, over 20 years. He was actually my one of my first clients when I opened up my first IT company. And so, I have a long history with Neil, and everything he's done to lead up to this point is just amazing. And he's really led this company to the success that we have now and that we all get to enjoy. And so, I'm very happy to be here. But that's kind of how I came here, right? Was I was uh, kind of poached by Neil, and he kept leading me to, what we have now. And I don't regret ever joining Avini, and I love it, and that's why I'm here, and I'm here to support you guys the best that I can. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what corporate does. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So each one of you should give your hand applause, because you guys do such an amazing job, and we had such a big month. Momentum is happening, so it's really great. And so I have two roles. My main role is IT, VP of IT, and then VP of compliance. So I kind of want to talk about a little bit about compliance tonight, because a lot of people think of compliance as a scary thing, right? Or I'm going to come and pick up the phone and yell at you guys because you did something wrong. And realistically, that's not what compliance is all about. When I do summits and talks, I always tell everybody, you wouldn't want to prospect somebody, get them all excited, and then they go to Amazon and it's $40 cheaper because somebody just wants to offload their products, right? That's not fair to any distributor. So that's why compliance exists. It's not necessarily for me to come and call you angry because you did something wrong. It's because I have to protect you guys, the distributor. I want to make sure that all the products that are available are only available through you, not through Amazon, not through eBay. And so that's why compliance exists, right? To protect the distributor and to, make sure that we're not making claims or we're not saying things that we shouldn't that could get a product shut down, right? We all know how things are today, and just one person says the wrong thing, and then we all have to deal with the backlash of that, right? So compliance is to protect you. It's not to come down on you and be mean and to treat you bad. A lot of you guys, the way compliance works is, and I'll get into social media, you guys may get a letter if we see something that's not quite right. So let's say you post something and you were use the C word, right, instead of bad cells. Well, you may get a letter. It's basically saying, hey, can you please make this change? And it will educate you on what you can and what you cannot do. We're starting to kind of change those emails a little bit to provide you like do's and don'ts, and exactly how that you can structure your social media post. So when you guys get those letters, it's not like we're coming after your distributorship, right? It's to let you know and educate you so that you understand what it takes to protect the company because these products are so amazing. We want to keep it in circulation. We want people to be exposed to it, but we have to do that in the right way so that we don't get in trouble. Um, in compliance, I bring it down to three simple things. Okay. One is always use your Avini independent distributor logo. So that way people know that it's things are not coming from corporate, they're coming from you. Okay. Two, don't use anything, don't use a C word, don't use any medical terms or names. Keep it general, right? Bad cells. That way we can stay compliant. And the third thing is use the FDA statement on everything that you guys add, saying that, we're not making claims, we're not saying this is to cure or diagnose something. And those three things alone cover you, right? And then the fourth thing, obviously, is don't try to sell items on eBay, Mercari, any of these apps, right? Because they we have a relationship with eBay and Amazon. So if anybody tries to sell it, they'll immediately take it down, right? Because we're a trademark. So, those are the three simple like steps. And the fourth step, of course, don't sell your product on your own website. If you follow those three things, you're always going to be okay. So with social media, I get a lot of questions like, what is it that can get me in trouble, or what is it that I'm not doing right? And most of the time is you're not using the FDA statement, the claim statement, and you're using medical terms or um, like the C word, right? We can't say that we cure something. And that's majority of the reason why people get letters is because they say, hey, buy Cell Defender because it's going to cure this. Well, you can't do that, right? Those are the things that get flagged in our system. And then that's where usually after a couple times that you guys receive emails, nothing changes. That's when usually we'll get a call from me or somebody in our staff to ask, hey, why isn't something being changed? The whole goal is as long as that we try to protect and do the right thing, we won't get in trouble. But if somebody goes off and starts making all these claims so that they get business, then that's when everybody starts getting in trouble, right? So those are the things to look out for. Social media, you can post your testimonials. You can post pictures of the products. You can pretty much do a lot of what you normally do with social media and share, right? I tell a lot of people that if you really are kind of concerned about things, go to the Avini Facebook page or the Avini Instagram and just share that post and then add like a blurb. Say, this company's changed my life, or there's some amazing products. Call me to find out more. So if you want compliant things that are already made, just go to our social media page and just reshare it, right? But remember that independent distributor logo. Make sure you have the claims that we don't make claim statement, FDA statement, and make sure that you're using generic terms. Okay, uh, and that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, there's more policies and procedures, and we have those available on the website if you guys want to read those. But if you keep to those three things, you're good to go. Also, from a compliance standpoint on your website, you can have your own website, and it's great, right? Because people can search you in Google. They can, you can do some marketing flyers on there so that they call you. The only thing that you have to have on your website is independent distributor logo. And even if you have like a WooCommerce, and you sell other products, just make sure that when it says buy now or order, it goes to your own Avini Health personal website. It can't go into a shopping cart and you can't collect payment for that. And it hurts you when you do that anyways, because now you're not getting the points for your legs, you're not getting the benefit of that. So you're hurting yourself if you're doing that. Um, there's much more advantage of bringing people in to share the product. So that's pretty much it from a compliance standpoint. I don't want to make it more complicated than that because it's really not, right? If you guys do podcasts or you do um, any type of like live videos like this, or just like Christine did today, and she said, "We're not here to make any claims." Just by saying that, she prevented a lot of issues, right? It's that simple. You don't have to complicate it. You don't have to know all the medical terms and products. Just keep it simple, keep it generic, and focus on what matters, how these products change people's lives, how the testimonials that you have and the people have, and share that, right? Because people love hearing how it changed you. People want to know your story. And that's why we have the app, right? The app allows you to be able to share things, and all the stuff in the app are all compliant. Those are all vetted by corporate. We make sure that everything, there's no claims being made. So that's another way. If you guys don't want to create your own stuff, just use what's in the app and send that out. And then, and when you guys send stuff out through the app, you can always change the message in the text message if you want to customize it. So you have the ability to put your own little flair on top of what you send out. So hopefully that makes sense. I really don't want you guys to think as compliance is a big bad wolf. It's here to help you and protect you. And if you guys ever have any questions, just or concerns, like, hey, I don't know if this post is going to affect me negatively, just send an email to compliance@avinihealth.com. I review them and I send it back to you and say you're good to go, or hey, just make this little tweak. And that's all you have to do, okay, to stay compliant. And all marketing materials also need to go to compliance@avinihealth.com.
I have
So
a question.
yes.
Came through my text. It says you can talk about your testimonial in a social media post. Would I be able to, would I be able to put a before and after picture? Let's just say you had, an issue and then could you do that before and after picture is the question.
Yes, because that's your testimonial, right? That's a change that personally affected you.
That's a,
Uh,
that's a, that's your personal testimonial, not a third party testimonial.
Correct. You can say what you want to say, right? Because that's how it affected you. But you can't say, okay, well, this is how I looked before when I had the C word, and then this
Right.
is what I look like after, right? You can't do that. You have to say, cell defender helped me with my bad cells, and here's how I personally looked, and here's how I personally looked after, right? You just want to be generic. You don't want to lead people to believe, there's times that in other companies I've seen where people are like, "Hey, you told me this product was going to cure me, and somebody passed away." Well, you can't say that, right? Because everything affects somebody else in a different way, right? Our products are nice because they're natural, they're healthy, they don't really impede with anything that you're doing. And Rick has kind of talked to you guys more about that stuff. But so you just anytime that you do a testimonial too, you can say, this is my personal testimony. This is how it personally affected me. I'm not talking for the company, I'm talking about me, right? And so that will take, and that's why we always say use the independent distributor logo, because then they know, hey, this isn't from corporate, this is coming from me, right? So it's a layer to define, you know who's doing what, right?
Good.
So that's a good question. Yes. So any other questions you guys may have as far as compliance goes?
Everybody's clear on the website. He talked about what was going on. You can't post that on, you can have an independent website, but you can't have your shopping cart. So that came up too. So yes, that's correct. You have to go to the back office. You have to use your own replicated site that Avini provides to each one of us as a distributor for free. And by the way, it's amazing site. So thank you for that. All right, it's question time, I
Yeah,
think. Who has a question? Raise your hand if you would. Hannah, go ahead.
yeah. So, Michael, if you're doing a private group page on social media, on Facebook or whatever,
Hmm.
can you use the word Avini? And can you also use the word Avini in YouTube if you have a YouTube?
So
Um,
no, you shouldn't be using like a Avini in your website name in your podcast, or I mean in your groups. I see a lot of people, like the wellness center, or they make it something original.
right.
That's
Okay.
best practice to do that, because you don't want to mislead somebody to think, okay, this is Avini's own channel, right? Because it
Right.
is trademarked. So I always tell everybody it's better anyways to show that you have your own group and your own name,
Mhm.
so that, because you got to think about it, across all the distributors, everybody has a group. So if there's Avini, how are they going to find you? So it's always better to be unique and set yourself apart from a marketing standpoint, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're not going to be seen. If you do something that stands out, you'll be seen. So that's why I
Yeah,
recommend
I just
you do
wanted
that.
to find it. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
like if you were to do Admiral Wellness with Avini Health, Advances in Natural Healing, but it would just be better to put Admiral Wellness and keep.
I would think so, yes. Because
Okay.
then
All
people
right.
don't get confused, and it's also easier to search when people look for you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you type in Avini and all these other distributors come up, then they may go to their group instead of yours, right? And you
Great.
don't want that. You want them to go to your group.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, I will talk from a compliance standpoint. Does anybody here familiar with cross enrolling?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So if you join somebody else's group and it's informative, don't try to poach people that they're inviting to their own group, right? If Hannah, if you invite me and I'm a distributor and then you have all your people there and somebody may have not signed up yet, I shouldn't be going in your group and trying to talk to people. Now, I can get information, I can get involved, I can help, I can help answer questions, but you never want to go in somebody else's group and start taking people, right? That's just an ethical thing, and the end of the day, it's not even a compliance thing. It's really ethical. It is compliance, but it's an ethical thing, right? If you get invited and I'm giving you resources, respect the people that you're in that group. Now, if somebody comes in your own group and they invited you and nobody else has prospect them, then it's fair game at that point, right? It's your own group. You brought them in, you're teaching them, you're showing them the products. So yeah, so you have the ability to do that. But you can't go to somebody else's legs and groups and start taking people and one of the big compliance things is you never want to, hey, I joined another company and try to, start taking people from Avini, right? Or different legs. So those are just ethical things that I think all of us inside of us know that we shouldn't be doing. So in the end of the day, I tell everybody, if you feel something's ethically wrong, probably should think about it twice, right? Um, and if you have concerns, you have questions, or you're not really sure, just email compliance@avinihealth.com and I will answer those questions so that you guys feel, okay, now I know that I can do this. Or, you know what? Oh, shoot, I didn't know that. Well, I'm glad at least asked. There's no harm in asking it. There's not a bad question. Even if it's a very simple question, I'd rather answer it and make sure that you guys are well informed than making a mistake and then you get a call and have to talk to me anyways, right?
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Hannah. Any other questions? Richard, did you have your hand up? Zimmer?
I just wanted to comment on Ed's presentation. It was extremely good. And I want to listen to it again because a lot of things the way he had just came right off his mouth. He said it so well. The only question I had when he talked about the Cell Defender, the Zeolite, he mentioned 7 years. I can't remember, is that the amount of time it takes to form the cages?
That was the process. If Chip can address this probably better than me, that's how long it took for Rick to actually bring this to fruition to where it was the way that it needed to be.
Oh, okay.
Crush it, activate it, make it smaller than a micron, make sure it was clean. And Chip can certainly, and I'm pretty sure that's accurate. But
Yeah.
that's what it took, Richard, to
I
make
didn't
this
know,
thing.
Ed, I didn't know if that was the amount of time for nature to take its course to make the cages, but
Oh,
that's
oh.
what I was getting
Oh
confused with.
no, yeah. I don't think so. I think it has been there for over 50,000 years. Rick just had to take the time to reduce, clean it, and get it in our bodies.
Well, thank you. You did a wonderful job, and I'm gonna listen to it again and again.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank
Ed.
you, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Richard, I'll make sure that I take the clip out of what
Oh,
he did so everyone can have that clip.
oh, great.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, you're great,
Wonderful.
Carol. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now
Absolutely.
and
Who has a
remember,
question? Oh, go ahead, Michael.
you don't necessarily have to be able to talk like Ed and and know everything, right? The whole point is bringing in somebody else who can help them understand and talk to them. Because, a lot of us sometimes we want to know too much information and then we're so overloaded information. The person that we're talking to is just like, I don't know what you're saying anymore, right? So keeping it simple is better. But Ed did an amazing job on keeping it simple. So if you model it like that, perfect.
You're absolutely right, Michael. The only thing is I do a lot of cold calls and I don't have the advantage of a three-way because I've got to act. And the way Ed just explained it was perfect.
Awesome. Well, if that
But
helps,
yeah, if I could do a three-way, I'm on it.
yep. And
Well,
that's the
Thank you.
thing
You
as
guys
well.
rock.
one of the things I want to comment to what Ed did also, if you use, he used like word pictures, things that people recall, an army, people going, that it was a lot of word pictures which encapsulate emotions, so that person can resonate. So word pictures are really good to tell the story. All right,
Absolutely.
another question. Anybody else? Let's see, time-wise, it's only 8:08, so we still have time, but if you have a question, please raise your hand. We have a great opportunity to have Michael with us.
Yeah,
Let
I
me,
have a question.
okay, Carol, go
All
ahead.
right. So, Michael, I do a podcast called The Toxic Truth. And we don't talk about Avini Health at all. What we do talk about is Cell Defender. And we talk about heavy metals and toxins. And we talk to professionals on that podcast. They're our guests. So, and then after we close out, we actually then invite them to my website or to Dr. Kara's website to read more about Cell Defender. So I just wanted to make sure you knew we were doing a podcast
Oh,
around
no,
that.
that's amazing. And I
Yeah.
like the format because,
Yeah.
people have to build belief and they have to understand what is a problem, right? If once they understand what the true problem is, then you have the solution, right? It's just a lead into the solution. Before, like Rick mentions in a lot of videos, you had to explain what toxicity was and heavy metals, but people just get it now. It's everybody knows that the toxins in the air and what we eat, right? All those things need a way, your body needs a way to remove those.
Yeah.
So I love this strategy because you're saying what the problem is, and then now you have the solution, and the solution is within reach.
We
So
do. We do.
that's very cool.
In
I'll
fact, on our podcast, we have them saying, what can you offer? What can you suggest?
yep, yep.
It's so perfect. Okay.
Well, I was sharing with Neil that we broke a record. We had 65 on that Dr. Kara Avini Vibes. So that was pretty amazing. It was really I felt an awesome presentation and compliant.
Yeah.
So, all right, questions. Any other questions?
Could I just jump in before it gets any darker?
Oh, sure. Chip, how are you? I
Hi,
was wondering
everybody.
where you
I
were.
got a couple of cool things to show you and tell you. I just watched the most incredible sunset from luxury accommodations. I happen to be at Rick's house tonight, and that's his backyard.
Oh yeah, that looks familiar.
That look familiar. And there's Marcy over there. But so I just
TV.
wanted to like name dropper thing for a second. It's pretty cool to be here. So here's what I saw tonight. Ed's our baseball player, and when he comes, you see him walking up. It's his turn to bat. Well, you kind of know, okay, he's going to knock it out of the park now, right? Because you just saw him do it. So when he comes up again, he's probably going to knock it out of the park again. And it's neat because Michael Pollock is behind home plate, making sure that the pitch is a fair pitch. That's all I got.
I like that.
Another story,
Perfect.
another word picture.
Love it.
Yeah. Chip always adds so much value and just we love to have Chip with us. And all right, question time. We got a couple more minutes. Anyone else? We might not have Michael back for a while, so this is your time to ask. And if I don't see any hands raised,
I
no.
think Alan is raising it.
Alan, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to Michael for coming on tonight, introducing yourself and telling us what you did. You knocked it out of the park, as Chip was just talking about.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, to close it out, please, guys, don't think compliance is this horrible thing. It's here to protect you. And really, compliance means all of us working together. Without all of us working together, there's no team, there's no community. And really the products, we got to get them out there. And that's why I'm here. And that's why, like I said in the beginning of my story, I started closing down my IT company so that I can be here because I really feel that Avini is a special place. And I'm really happy to be here with every single one of you and to continue this journey. So thank you for having me tonight. I really
Don't leave
appreciate
yet.
it.
We have another question.
Yeah, one more
Oh, we
Sandra,
do? Okay.
yeah, Sandra's hands up.
Sam,
Mike, didn't I hear that we were going to be getting a new app?
Yes, you are going to get a new app. I announced it at Summit. We listened to you guys, and I took all the feedback that you guys gave me, and you're going to love the new app. I don't have a drop date yet because, I like to test everything. We'll do some beta testing with a few people, make sure that the app is easy to use and it's foolproof. Once I'm 100% sure that it's going to work amazing for you guys, we'll release it. I will say probably within the next month, at least, you guys will have the new app. So, and I will do trainings on the app. I will have live trainings. I'll answer any questions. We'll go through in details. We'll create manuals, step-by-step guides. We'll have Zooms on the Avini app, Avini Health /app web page. So you guys will have every tool you need to be successful with the app.
Thank you. Another question. I saw a hand up. Where'd it go? Pat, Tracy.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify something with Michael. When you're talking about groups, you were kind of more so talking about groups within Avini. Like if I were to go, I belong to a bunch of groups, like Shih Tzu lovers, because I have a Shih Tzu. And when somebody says something about a sick animal they're having problems with, it's okay then that I naturally don't mention the company, but say, hey, I might have a suggestion for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean
Okay.
if you're in a well, what I'm more specifically saying is if let's say Hannah says, "Hey Pat, come join my group." And now you start talking to the people that she's inviting to the group and trying to have them become your prospect. That's a different story than I'm going to go to a antique web page group that I like to buy antique stuff, and then I see somebody comment about their health. That's a totally different story, right? That's different because I mean those are opportunities to talk to people and share, right? But when somebody another distributor in Avini invites you, just be respectful. It's an ethical thing to do.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you, Pat.
Richard has his hand up.
Richard.
Michael, not to let the cat out of the bag about the new Avini app. I love it. The enhancement, will it be something to do with accessing more testimonies?
Yes. So we are starting to create more videos. We're starting to add more to the app. You know, we still continue to add to the app that we have now, but we're as you guys seen, we're creating more and more content, and we'll continue to do so that you guys will have access to all that. The new
nice.
app lays it out a little bit nicer so you can see the testimonials and they're not so squished together. So you'll be able to easily share those as well. And every time we do conferences, we do summits, we'll end up putting all those testimonials on the app as well.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Some of the newer stuff are not on the current app right now because it's going to be part of the new app and to showcase some cool stuff there. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Michael.
Very good. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you for your
Can I ask one more if we did the videos? You know, I'm going back into my back office and just reacquainting myself with everything. And I was in the back office. I noticed that there were a lot of videos in there and testimonies also, I believe, in the back office.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, are they, when you're updating all of them, are they all new? I mean, Are you putting them in there as well, along with the Vimeo, etc.? Because I was really impressed that it was there. It was just another
Yeah.
place.
We're going to be refreshing all of the back office media and content. So my goal is to have that replicate what's on the app so that you guys have the ability to go to either the app or the back office, and it should have the same exact information. Now,
Okay,
the
that's
app
great.
is more content related, right? So you may have more videos and more content on the app because you want to send those things out. Whereas the back office, or you got to download the videos or download the files. So two different kind of use cases, but we should have them pretty mirrored.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you. Question in the chat. Can we post a picture of our business card on our Facebook page?
Yeah, why not? As long as the business card is, that has your independent distributor logo. Okay.
There you go. All right. All right. Any other
Very
questions? Those are some good questions came up tonight, right?
absolutely.
Any last chance? Any other questions? All right. It looks like you've answered the ones that came forward tonight, and we appreciate everybody. Michael, we'll look forward to seeing you at the summit again in August. Yes?
Yes. And
Yeah.
for anybody who
But-
has not gone to the summit, this summit that's coming up is even better. Don't miss it. I mean,
Impossible.
if you guys been to the last summits, you will not want to miss another one. And it's just community, right? You guys get to meet everybody, you get to understand the products, you get to, talk to Neil, Rick, me, Doug, Mickey, right? You get to really have a chance to really get more involved in the company. And it's just an amazing thing to see everybody who wants to help people come together, because you don't get that a lot anymore, right? So everybody here loves sharing the products, helping people, and to have that community together is amazing. So
another question coming through my phone. Approximately how many distributors do we have in Avini?
a lot.
Over 14,000?
Yes.
Over
I'll let
14,000.
Neil announce numbers.
Yeah.
But yes, we have a lot of distributors, and it's growing very quickly. So
Yeah.
and you guys are really at the tip of the momentum. So if you guys keep getting out there, you guys be diamond soon enough.
There you go. There's nothing like reaching and helping other people, right? Everybody's got these big smiles on their face and grins because every day we go out and we serve. We serve side by side. We work with amazing company, amazing products. And I always say smart people. This company attracts smart people. So thank you everyone for being here tonight. God bless you. I want you to know next week, I'm pretty sure Kyle Helms will be our guest speaker. So don't forget to invite, and don't be hesitant of going out, and don't be shy. Share with everyone, because you never know who's asking for the answer, and you may be the one with it. So thank you so much tonight for being here. Michael, again, special guest. Thanks for being with us. Everyone, he did a great job. Yes? How do we do it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Thank Chip for joining us from his luxurious place.
Yes. Send our
It
love
is-
to Rick.
It
and
is
Marcy.
wonderful. I
Yeah.
will tell him. He'll know we were on. He'll know we were on together.
All right.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
guys rock.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Again. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Thank you. Thank you,
It's
Michael.
really real.